All right, that's probably enough time for it to register a live video starting up on the social medias, on YouTube and on Facebook. What's up, everybody? Some guy who cooks here with a late night live session. We are making some banana pancakes. It's 11:06 p.m. And, I've been working all day. I haven't had much of a chance to come on here, so I'm sorry I couldn't do it earlier. But who knows? Maybe I'll get a fun late night crowd to jump in on this live session. And if I don't, then all you out there watching later on, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I see we got one eyeball on us right now, which means there's one person watching. How freaking cool is that? I'm going to turn on the chat overlay so that everybody can go ahead and see the chat while I'm cooking today. You know what? Oh, yeah, there we go. I see Alejandra has jumped in. Banana pancakes, huzzah! Glad to see you here. And actually, I'm going to turn off the chat overlay just because I'll wait until we get more people viewing. But yes, Alejandro, we're making banana pancakes. They're super simple, super quick, and super fun to make. There's a very easy recipe that you need. You need 2 large eggs and 1 banana. That's the ratio. I have some small bananas that I was using today. They turned out smaller than I was expecting. Maybe they weren't fully ripe, whatever. Regardless, they're a little smaller than other bananas that I usually buy. So I went ahead and used 2 bananas. And instead of 4 eggs for the ratio, I'm using 3 because I'm using extra large eggs. And because the bananas are a little smaller than a lot of the ones I would normally use for making this recipe. So go ahead and gauge it. You want a normal size banana and a large egg, and 2 large eggs. That's your ratio. But anyway, I'm making a nice little batch of them here. That'll make you a couple good pancakes, and I guess we should get to it, guys. So I'll go ahead and show you. I've got the bananas in the bowl here, and what you see here, a couple types of syrup. This is an old-fashioned syrup, which is a combination of buttery syrup and cane syrup. And I've also got a gourmet honey cream syrup, which is super yummy, delicious as well. So I have a tough time deciding between the two sometimes, guys. And then, of course, I've got some butter here. The butter's not part of the recipe. It's just what I use to slather on the griddle to grease it a bit. And then I also put it on my pancakes at the end. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. We crack our eggs right into bananas here. Don't want no shell. Just go ahead and get it on there. And right here, I do have, these are farm fresh eggs. So sometimes the shell can be a little tougher to crack. And they are very brittle, so you want to watch out for any extra pieces of shell that they don't fall into your eggs. Nobody likes biting down on a piece of eggshell while eating pancakes or anything for that matter. Here we go. We got all 3 eggs right in there with my 2 smaller bananas. And then what you're going to do, you're just going to pretty much mash that all up with a fork. I find a fork is usually the easiest way to do this, guys. If you want to use something else, you can, but a fork works just fine. I mean, you just get right onto that banana and give it a good little mash. Now, the reason we just use the 2 ingredients, we don't add any flour or like anything like that, is because, well, this is a gluten-free recipe. Not only is it a simple recipe, it's also gluten-free. So if you have gluten-free friends who miss pancakes or have never had pancakes, well, now you can make pancakes for them. And, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit, maybe I should have mashed these bananas a little first before adding the eggs. That probably is a good idea. But anyway, just go ahead and make sure you get it all mashed. But anyway, that's kind of the purpose of making a gluten-free, pancake. So if you really want, you can add flour to this recipe if you're not worried about the gluten so much. But I'll tell you this about these pancakes. They're not the consistency of the traditional pancake. They're not what, you expect from a regular pancake. They're close, but they're a lot more custardy. That's the thing, You got eggs, you've got bananas, and that's it. So we do have a very custardy consistency when we finish with these. So I noticed it looks like we got a couple eyes on here. If you leave a comment, I will give you a huzzah. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments section. That way I can answer them. Otherwise, go ahead and give me a shout out. Have you ever tried these banana pancakes? Have you ever made them before? I know I have a few times. They work pretty decent. They're not they're not like super amazing, but they're quick. That's the biggest thing with these. They're quick, and anybody can make them. And, like you see, it can be a little bit of a pain sometimes to mash these bananas. The biggest reason why it's a pain with these is because they're very green. I got them today. They haven't had much time to ripen. So I got to do a little extra work here in trying to mash them up. But we're getting it done. So have you ever made these? Have you ever made a variation of these? And do you have a favorite pancake recipe? Now, I do have a favorite pancake recipe, and I'll share it with you one of these days. Today just doesn't happen to be that day. I was going to make those, and then I realized I don't have any milk or cream, and you kind of need some milk and or cream to make them. Okay, guys, these are pretty decently smashed. You can see there's still a few chunks in here, but that's okay because, banana pancakes usually have chunks of banana, It's just kind of a given. So it's a little bit chunky, a little chonky. And just do your best, okay? Smash it up. Do your best. We got a good mix going here. And the reason I'm not adding flour is because of what I told you, is because you don't really need it. Anyway, let's see here. Looks like I've got some comments I missed a second ago. And I want to show you how custardy these are. Remind me later. Go away, Flash Player update. Let's see here. Let's see, Jasper says, yo, huzzah, glad you're here. Let's see here. What is something you expect from a regular pancake? So what I expect from a regular pancake is for it to be fluffy, very delicate, just very airy, spongy, yeah, that's what I expect from a regular pancake. From these, however, like I said, they're more custardy, which I've gone ahead and heated up my griddle to a nice sort of medium to medium-low heat. So, we're good there. Jasper says, your friend says hi. Huzzah! Hello to Jasper's friend. And you say you always love chocolate. Yeah, chocolate is fantastic, especially in pancakes. It's probably great in a banana pancake as well. With bananas and eggs. I see Cody says, hey, huzzah! How's it going, Cody? Glad you're here. And I'm glad to see you've joined us. We're having a bit of fun here. Now, his name is Andrew. Well, huzzah, Andrew! Awesome. So we've got plenty of people watching, and that's great to see. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and move our view over to the griddle. And I'm going to start with a little bit of butter here. Nice little pad. Just kind of throw it on there. We're going to use our spatula to wipe it around. There we go. A nice smear of butter here for us to go ahead and just kind of lay some of our batter out on. And you want to scoop it out just like you would a pancake. So I'm going to get a nice big ladle-y type spoon here, and I can go ahead and get my fork out of this batter. This very simple batter, and go ahead and lay down a ladle. Okay? Maybe I'll lay down a little bit more. Now, you probably want to go ahead and mash it and mix it a little better than this. This is going to turn out pretty eggy. And I'm going to jump it up to about 350. We want that to heat up more. Obviously, that is not quite hot enough. But it is going to cook it. And I'm going to do is just kind of make sure it forms here. But that's the thing with these, guys. They're very simple. And like I said, they're not going to resemble a traditional pancake. They're going to be very, very different. And you really do want some ripe bananas for this. So the more ripe, the better, as long as they're not rotten. Because the more ripe they are, the more you're going to be able to smush them into the eggs and really mix them around, and the less it's going to resemble scrambled eggs with bananas. But it's doing okay just like this. And I promise you, they're still going to be good. So here we go. We're going to lay down our next ladle. And just add a little bit more here. And they're taking a pretty good form here. And you can use your spatula to really kind of encourage it and make sure it stays in the confines of a pancake shape. We're laying them right on top of that butter. And we're going to let them cook a little bit before we give them a little flip and throw in the rest of the batter. So Like I said, guys, this is a very, very simple pancake. I don't know how else to explain it other than it's very simple. And it's going to be, kind of custardy and definitely tastes like bananas. So here we go. Cody asks once, what did you use? Just eggs and bananas, and what is the ratio? So yes, Cody, that is what you use, eggs and bananas. If you want this simple 2-ingredient gluten-free recipe. Now, you could also add some flour if you want. So I'll go ahead and do these two. And what I'll do is I'll add some flour to the remaining batter so you can see the difference when we add flour. But anyway, yeah, that's it. It's 1 regular-sized banana and 2 large eggs is the ratio. That's all you need. Make sure they're very ripe. The more ripe they are, the better, like I said, unless they are rotten, in which case don't use them. But when they're more ripe, they'll squish in better. These, and Jasper's asking, how long do these take? They really don't take long. As long as it takes for your pan to get hot, that's it. You got to mash up bananas into some eggs and then throw them on the griddle. And that's it. And I'm going to grab some flour quickly. Flour is just super magical when it comes to baking, guys. It really is. It is the secret ingredient. Like I've made all sorts of gluten-free, baked goods and noodles and things like that for my friends. And I'll tell you what, it's really hard until you add flour, which is the stuff they can't have, unfortunately. But when you add the flour, and I'm adding a couple pinches of flour to this banana pancake batter, and I'll show you the difference it makes once we add the flour. But the flour makes all the difference. It helps things stay together. It helps them cook better. It helps. Gosh, flour is just a wonderful ingredient. And Jasper, it looks like you got to take off. So good night to you as well. Until next time, you take it easy. Huzzah! Glad seeing you. Glad you could jump in for even just a little bit. And also, good seeing your friend as well. But yeah, so these are looking pretty good. They're going to take another minute to finish up before I flip them. And yeah, I really wish I had more ripe bananas because you're going to see these are going to look a little bit eggy. And that's because the bananas weren't able to mix in super amazingly well. So they're going to look a bit eggy, but they're going to be good. Here we go. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, looking like I could probably flip them in a second. In fact, I could flip this one now. And you can see it actually does look like a pancake, okay? Let's go on to this one too. We'll give that a good flip as well. Boom. Nice and buttery here. And you can also see, here I've got my batter that I've added the flour to. And we're going to see the difference with the floury stuff. And there's plenty of what's it called? There's plenty of sugar in the bananas, and there's plenty of flavor there. And then we're going to have lots of sugar in the syrup as well. But you can see it's more of a thick mixture, like a pancake batter once you've added the flour, because, well, it's a pancake batter. But anyway, here we go. We got a couple pretty good looking banana pancakes here. I'll go ahead and get a plate. Move our butter to the side so we have space here for the plate. And these are going to be done very soon. I'll just go ahead and move them over a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more butter to the pan. And we'll smear that around once more. Plenty of butter here. And now we add some of our batter with the flour. And if you really want to fluff up even more, you can add some baking powder, and that'll really do a good job. That'll really get them extra fluffy. But this is all you need, guys. 2 ingredients, 3 if you want to add a little extra texture slash, what's the word I'm looking for? Structure to your pancakes. So you can see these ones, they're forming up even better than those first ones. So these bad boys look like they're done. So let's go ahead and give this one another flip and look. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's done. These are because they're mostly egg and banana, and here you go, you can get a good look. It still looks a lot like a pancake. Just the deal is they're going to be very custardy. So we have a question. What do you finish them with? Cody asks. You mean how do we dress them? Because I'll show you that right now. So what I've got here, I've got these two very custardy banana pancakes with just the banana and the egg. And I'm going to do is take some butter and put it right on top, okay? A little butter on either one, just like with a regular pancake. And in addition to the butter, which actually I'll get a little bit more, because I like a good buttery pancake. Come on, butter, you can do it. There we go. Nice knob of butter on each of them. And then we're going to add some syrup, okay? So let's get you back over here. And real quick, I think our next ones are just about ready to flip, but let's feel it. Oh, yeah, look at that. And they're holding that form real well. Just get nice and under it and whoop. All right, I was a little premature with that one. It's okay. We'll let this one keep going. But anyway, with these ones over here, they're ready to get some syrup on them. So I'm going to put a little bit of honey cream syrup. And we'll start with that one. A little bit of honey cream. It's a very light syrup. And then we get a little bit of a stronger flavor from our old-fashioned syrup here, which is mostly cane syrup. So I'm going to put a little of that on as well. Here we go. And you can see it's got that darker color. Now, one thing I will say about these pancakes, they don't soak up syrup and butter quite as well as regular ones because they don't have that flour. But that's okay. You can still wipe them all around, and it's super delicious. You can see the syrup is kind of pooling around here. But I'll still show you what they look like when we cut into them. So here we go. We have the pancakes right here, and you can just go ahead and give them a good cut. And look at that. Cut super simple. It's got a bit of a texture to it, a good little bite to it because, well, they're very custardy and they're thick. And that's super good. You can really taste the banana. The banana is the strongest flavor in here. And Cody says, some cashews would go good on top. And you're not wrong. I think some cashews would be pretty good on top. But this is real quick just showing a super simple version of pancakes. Okay, so this is easy, guys. Super easy. You saw how quick and easy it is. And it's also absolutely delicious. You can throw on some cinnamon. Now, like I said, these were green bananas, so they didn't mash as well as more ripe ones, which means that we do have a little bit of an eggy flavor in this. And that eggy flavor is kind of traded for a custard flavor when you have better pancakes to work with, or better bananas to work with. But anyway, first one here is looking great. The second one is definitely ready to flip. Oh yeah, you can get under it a lot better. I had to be a little more patient, and I wasn't. But look at that. These are definitely more cakey than those other ones, okay? Than the first ones that are just the eggs and the bananas. That's because we got that flour, guys. Whole wheat flour in general is just a miracle ingredient. And it is the best thing. And quite frankly, almost pretty much irreplaceable when it comes to baking. It's very difficult to make baked goods that are as good without wheat flour. And I know some people who can. And it's pretty remarkable, and it takes some effort. But yeah, gosh. And you can already see the difference with these wheat ones. They're spongier, they're thicker. And I'll show you what they're like when we cut into them in a little bit. Oh yeah, they need another minute on that side before they're done. So while those are finishing up, I'll go ahead and take a few more bites. I see Joy has jumped in. Huzzah! Hello, sorry you're late. Yeah, you don't have to be sorry. You're good. You made it here. That's what it's about, right? We're having a good time. And plus, you get to see me take a few more bites. Now, there's a little spot here that looks more like scrambled egg than pancake. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, it was a bit eggy. That's okay, though. I'm loving this mixture of the honey cream syrup and the old-fashioned, cane syrup. It's a fantastic mix. It's very delightful. And like I said, these, they're very custardy and super delicious. So give it a shot sometime, guys. Normally I'd wrap up by now because we're pretty much done, but I do want to show you those other pancakes as well. So as you can see, I did a double batch of these pancakes. I did 2 bananas and 3 eggs. One of the bananas was pretty small. One of them was kind of medium, so I didn't want to overdo it with the eggs. And that made me 4 pancakes, okay? So the ratio is 1 banana to 2 eggs, and that makes 2 pancakes. I love pancakes. And these, although they're not your traditional light, fluffy ones, they are very unique, and they are very good. Plus, if you got friends who can't eat gluten, you can still make them pancakes, okay? I hear a nice little sizzle. These are cooking on the butter on this griddle. Ooh, they are hot. That heat is coming through. I can feel it on the top side. Oh yeah, those look good. Let's transfer these over to the plate. And while they're hot, we'll go ahead and turn off the griddle. And while they're hot, I'll go ahead and add the butter. We can close this up. And over here, I got a little more butter. And this butter is going right on top. Yes, I like butter, especially on a pancake or a waffle. I do not, I do not go light when it comes to butter on my breakfast foods, as you can well tell, I'm sure. So here we go, nice and buttery. And these two have the flour added to the banana and the eggs. And this is that really good Amish roll butter. If you have access to that, get it sometime. Treat yourself. Do yourself a favor. It is delicious. And here, we'll finish up this custard one. And you can see here, I'll show you the difference so far. Look at the custard one that's just banana and egg. It's about half as tall as these other two with the flour. The flour really added some substance to these pancakes. But again, if you have friends who are gluten-free, this is the way to do it. And Joy says, the banana ones fluff up if you add a tablespoon of coconut flour and a tiny touch of baking powder and a little salt. That's a great tip. I didn't know coconut flour would do it too. So you heard it, guys. These ones have a little bit of regular flour, just a pinch, but it already, just the flour, makes a huge, huge difference. And you can see it. And let me add, something just fell. A bread clip. But anyway, go ahead. Don't forget to add the syrup like I just did a minute ago before. But I remembered before I jumped in and took a bite. And again, I'm just going to do a drizzle of each of these on top. The cane syrup and this honey cream syrup. It is so good. Especially the combination of the two. That's one thing I love about where I live is there's of course, Florida, there's a lot of sugar cane, and naturally there are a lot of people who make homemade cane syrup right in their backyard. So it's not hard to go out just outside the city and find somebody selling in a little stall at their house some cane syrup. And just looking, they cut very similarly, but they're thicker with that little bit of flour. And they absorb this butter and this syrup better. Oh, yeah. They have more of a cake consistency. And I can only imagine if I added some of that baking powder as well. Ooh, baby. But that makes it a lot more complicated, adding baking powder and flour as well. We're talking 2 ingredients tonight, guys. But it's pretty easy to add that pinch of flour. They're still rather custardy, but they do have a lot more of a cakey consistency, and they do soak up that syrup and that butter much better. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all sticking around. Those of you who did. Those of you who didn't stick around the whole time, I appreciate you too, just for jumping in. And those of you watching later, you're cool too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment down below. Until next time, I'm some guy who cooks, and this has been your Saturday night live cook of banana pancakes. Simple banana pancakes on our Blackstone 17-inch electric griddle, the E-Series. Until next time, everybody, much love and appreciation. Huzzah!